Right, so
Tampons.
as you
Lots of tampons on the floor.
I thought that.
as you get away, this time you find that there are a lot of as you're sort of like running through the labyrinth, trying to get away from this bird. The sound of your footsteps slowly begin to fade as you just hear like sort of wind chimes on the air, and you manage to find that you actually managed to get yourself to a bit of relative safety. That is until you manage to come to this section of the labyrinth.
Where is
Are they
the
all
sun in the
explosives?
sky?
It's still in the same place it was a little while ago.
Okay.
Yes, those are. This passage is littered with fuses, kegs of gunpowder, and sticks of dynamite. A crew of 5 goblins is scurrying about, tossing explosives to one each other and attaching them to the walls and the floor, and all of them are carrying lit torches.
Jim!
I'm just gonna be like, hi guys, it's me, literally. Could you just clear us a little bit of a path? Thank you very much.
So Jim has just messaged me separately. Use the matches! Do it, do it, do it!
You left them there, you didn't take them.
Take them. Sad face.
Can I use my goblin features to just let us past?
No, because you are also very annoying. That's part of your flaw, so you're gonna have to still roll for it, but you will have advantage on trying to roll for it. So it's going to be harder, but because you are a goblin, you have advantage.
Okay,
So you still got
all
it sort of
goblins
balances
are really
out.
annoying, I think, anyway. Well, I'm gonna take the 6.
So you sort of roll up there and mention that you're an honoured guest.
Yes, I'm
And
an
that you-
honored guest, you know, at the palace. I'm late for a party. These are my comrades, assistants. They're carrying all my stuff.
They sort of cackle and giggle, and they're like, "Oh yeah, go ahead. We're gonna blow this place in a minute." And yeah, you just manage to just walk past them.
Thank you very much, kind sir.
That's as easy as that one. Sometimes it's that simple.
Can I pocket an explosive on my way out?
You can attempt to grab one if you want to roll to try and steal one. Is that a 4 for that?
Yeah.
Right. You managed to steal some boomers. You steal a large barrel of gunpowder somehow. So yeah, you have a boomer. You can have in your pack.
Why didn't you bring the matches, Becky?
Where did I jump up?
You could have taken both, I assume.
The matches would take some effort to pull out of the way because they are like part of the wall. Right, 1 second. You just so as you wander past this quite terrifying scene, but you manage to make it by pretty easily. You end up in a number of more tunnels to work your way through the labyrinth, just winding passageways until you come across a opening. 1 second. Because we'd have to read this quite a lot. As you come along, the ground beneath you trembles, and around the next bend you can hear a voice like the grinding of consonants saying, "What have we here? A trespasser!"
No one lives here.
And you can see a stone giant who is buried up to his waist in the earth of a paved courtyard. In his hand there is a man-sized golden cage with a trembling figure inside.
Is it a capybara?
There's also a good dozen golden cages that are strewn about. 4 of them have skeletons inside. Okay, and in the cage, oh my god, roll a 3, me. Yes! Inside the cage is a sort of a dwarf with sort of like a gnarled, knobbly face.
Is it
and
Hoggle?
It's Hoggle!
Oh my god!
He's going, "Hey, let me out of here!" And the giant is sort of like laughing to himself. But you see, this giant is stuck. It's not moving anywhere. He is like buried into the earth.
Do any of us know Hoggle?
No.
I might
The
know.
Labyrinth is a huge place full of loads of people.
I want to be riding my Dell again. No pun intended.
So you come in here, and the giant is holding the cage that has
Hello, Katniss.
Hoggle inside of it, and he says, he basically just looks at you and says, "Ah, trespassers! It's been a while since I've had a good prisoner or two.
You got one right there. Don't lie to me.
I only just got this one." And
Well, can we have it, please?
he says, "No, I want to keep him. He's my prisoner."
Are you want to keep him because you're lonely? Because you're stuck in the floor? Is that it?
No, I'm a prison guard. I'm not lonely at all, even if I've been here for hundreds of years with no one to talk to.
Guys, I think he's pretty lonely. I mean, you could have like a rock wife or something, or I could, like blow you up. I don't know.
He sort of shakes the cage a bit, and Hall goes, "Hey, stop doing that!" And he's like, "No, this is my prisoner."
I think there are better ways of making friends, dude.
He says, "Well, I mean, this friend can't leave me." So, what do you people want to do?
Can I see anything in any of the other cages besides skeletons?
Bu-
Good at listening and spotting.
You can roll to see if you can spot anything.
2?
Yes.
Come on. Oh wow, I spot nothing.
You don't spot a damn thing.
Can I find a rock to like draw a face on?
What are you going to draw the face on with?
Spit.
You're going to just claw it in with your claw
Yeah,
gauntlet?
I could do that. I mean, I could find like a plank of wood or something to draw this on it with my claws. Something like that, anyway.
So you try and draw a face on a plank, and he sort of like watches you, and he sort of leans over there and goes, "That's not gonna talk to me!"
What does if he
And-
pretend it does?
And Hoggle says, "Well, I'm not gonna talk to you either!" And sort of like folds his arms and sort of like turns his back. And then the giant just sort of turns the cage around, and then Hoggle sort of turns around again. They sort of have this little thing where he keeps spinning the cage, and Hoggle keeps trying to show him his back.
I think it can talk to you. You just have to listen really carefully.
He says, "You think I haven't tried talking to inanimate objects before?"
But did they have a face?
Then you see him like sort of shift and like use his elbow to like hide one of the cages where he's like bent it to look like a face. Sort of like just bats it out of the way.
Dude, we gotta get this guy laid. What about you, Midel? Is he your type?
He is not. Got any glass in here?
Unfortunately not. It's all just metal cages.
Ooh. Can I have a look around the cages, at the ones outside of his arm's reach, preferably?
Yep. Yeah, you could have a look at the cages. They're all just there's this golden sort of metal. They're the size of like a human, so they're pretty large. But some of them, like I said, some of them have like skeletons in them. But a lot of them are empty. I
If
think
you
it's
pick up
4.
a skull and use it as a ventriloquist dummy and pretend like it's alive, will you fall for it?
You'd have to get your hand in the cage.
I'm really tiny.
You are, but it says the space between the bars is wide enough that anything smaller than a goblin would be able to slip in and out.
I'm a goblin.
Smaller than a goblin, so I think it's just worms could slip in and out. The Hoggle sort of looks at you and goes, "Hey, are you just gonna let me out or something?"
gotta
I don't
try.
want to be stuck here.
Have you got any keys or anything? I don't know.
He said, no, I don't have anything like that. And he said, stop talking, trespasser.
I thought you wanted to be talked to, or are you just not lovely?
He's a trespasser, so I have to talk down to him. He's my prisoner.
Well, see, that's not a good way to make any friends, and that's why they leave you.
Well, this is my job. He says, I can't, I don't have another job. I'm stuck here.
Well, what kind of job would you like then?
I want to paint things.
You want to paint things? Well, you could paint anything, you know, like... Can you dig yourself out of there, or are you stuck?
No. I'm pretty stuck.
Well, do you know where there's any paint?
No.
What about you, dwarf? Do you know where there's any paint?
Hoggle says, oh yeah, there's lots of paints in the old work sheds. Us dwarves have got to have all the tools of our trade.
Well, what if a big stone guy says he lets you go, would you come back and give him some paints?
He goes, well, I guess. But he's not having any of my jewels. Them's mine.
What do you think of
Good
that
job.
big stone man?
Roll. Is talking one of your features?
I'm. Hang on. Oh,
I think you just got goblin features, don't you?
I've got goblin features and I've got
Oh, it's bravery, isn't it?
bravery and endurance, but I'm overconfident and annoying, so.
Okay, well, just roll once. Well, okay. That pretty much solves most problems. So the giant says, oh, well, you better come back and be a prisoner again.
No,
And
no, no,
Hoggle-
no, no. He's going to give you paints so you can enjoy your time in the floor.
Like, yeah, I'll bring it back and put him at a safe distance. And he sort of lowers the cage and opens it out, and Hoggle sort of like hops down and then just runs past you. just zooms straight away. He goes, I'm out of here! Okay, so Hoggle's free now. What do you want to do? Do you want to wait an hour to see if Hoggle comes back?
I'm gonna ask the team.
I don't think I want to wait an hour. That's a long time.
How
You've
many
still
hours
got
have we wasted?
2. You've got 11 left. I mean, I'm not supposed to tell you, but you only lost 2 hours in that first room, and since then nothing's happened that has caused you time loss.
Okay.
Like the only thing that makes time go away is like punishments for failure. So you pretty much when you're just exploring, you're pretty safe to do whatever. So you can choose to sacrifice an hour to see if Hoggle comes back to bring the paints. But it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll ask the group.
I don't trust Toggle.
Oh, in the same cage, there's also some boiled sweets and some peacock feathers. Apparently, for some reason, it's just what it says.
Yeah, but he's still holding that, so I don't want to go near him. I think we'll wait an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're sort of like every now and then the giant sort of like tries to call you a trespasser and tells you to get in a cage because you're his prisoners now, which I doubt any of you do. But after an hour, you sort of like see behind you Hoggle's face sort of peering around the corner, and he just sort of like leaves a box full of paints and then just sort of runs off. He doesn't actually come back into the chamber. He just sort of drops a box of paints off and then runs away. But there is a box of paints.
What about Big Hairy Testicle Man? Would you like to go and bring the box of paints in for the stone guy?
Well, they're behind him then.
Yeah, you can easily
like in
go
the
grab him.
entryway.
Yeah. Hoggle didn't get close enough that any of you could grab him. He just sort of left the box and ran off.
Can you really blame him?
I'll be like, okay, this is a box of paint in exchange for us to go past without being prisoners.
Well, but I suppose that's a kind of trade. Can I just have one of you as a prisoner?
Nope.
Can I have that plank?
Yes, you could have the plank. You can make it even prettier.
Oh, well, I've got the paint now.
Exactly.
And he will take the paints in exchange for letting you move forwards.
I will like pat his fingertips as if it's like a shoulder or something because he's huge.
He makes a grab at you.
I'm joking.
No,
he
he's
doesn't
not
actually.
gonna grab the tree.
Right, so you managed to get past the giant.